All right, guys, today's dig is for quartz. As you can see, I'm finding a lot of nice quartz here. Lots of large crystals in this particular region, and there is a pretty massive quartz vein here, and there's just a lot of quartz strewn about. So just share with you some how cool this stuff is. So as you can see, many of the pieces have a lot of clarity. Some of them are near crystal clear, which I find really cool. Not all quartz that you find is this clear. So that's what I really like about this deposit, that there's so much of these. This one's a little dirty, but you can see just a really nice crystals in there. There's a couple of clusters like this too. So that's a pretty nice cluster right there. I would say in this particular deposit, these are actually quite small. Many of them are fist-sized pieces that I'm finding, and they need cleaned up. They're still pretty dirty, but I like to leave them like that just to not to ruin them right now, just by knocking the dirt off and scraping them up. But let's see, some of them had a lot of potential here. Like this is a huge crystal face there. It's just not, you know, completely well formed. Got a few pieces here I can kind of show you how just crystal clear those pieces are. So that's just a broken one, but yeah, it's crystal clear. So pretty cool. Let's see if I have anything else. So like I was saying, the stuff I really like about this deposit is the fact that these are so clear, and they don't always form such nice faces, and they're so clear, and that's because there's just these different varieties of quartz, like I just talked about in some recent videos. I talked about the different varieties of quartz, and essentially you can really think of the different varieties as different colors. So you have more clear quartz, and then you have, if it's a whitish tinge, like there's pieces here that you might refer to as milky quartz, and then yellowish tinges or citrine, and there's amethyst, which you might have heard of. Typically more of a purplish reddish tinge on amethyst. And so all of the variations in the colors of quartz really just come from different impurities in the quartz body. The quartz is silica. It's silica based. So this means that these pieces that I have, like this one maybe, that's, you know, pretty clear, pretty crystal clear. That's not perfectly clear. But that means that those are really pure silica. It's actually SiO2 is the base with some variation, but it's pretty much the chemistry is silica based. So those other forms, those other colors we were talking about, they basically just have, again, some impurity, and a lot of times it's iron. And you get slightly different, like this, you know, you can get a coating on the outside. Sometimes it's black or yellowish or reddish, whitish. And a lot of that can be cleaned off of the quartz that you have. You can just, there's different chemicals depending on what kind of stain you have. But then there's actual, where the quartz piece itself throughout is a different color. Sometimes you'll hear of smoky quartz that kind of has a black tinge. You can't really like scrape it or use chemicals to get that off. So that's what we're talking about with these different varieties and different colors, but some of those are actually demanded. People like those different colors rather than just the clear quartz varieties. So yeah, and there's rose quartz, that's kind of a pinkish hue. But then there's even some with inclusions. So rutile is a mineral I talked about here recently, and some of those have these long, just kind of almost fibrous or striated look to them, and they're a reddish hue, and they'll be inside the quartz as an inclusion. So those are pretty cool. So yeah, so just kind of fun look at my dig today, and a little thought on the variety of quartz. Looking for some of that one was a nice one right there. Look at that, nice crystal faces. Of course it's broken. And yeah, I have some other ones that I'll show you guys when I'm done. I'm still working on digging some stuff out, and I'll share with you what I find. Again, I've seen some real potential for some really large quartz crystals, single crystals. Lots of potential here for that. So I'm hopeful to find some more really big pieces, and if I do, I'll show you what I find. But yeah, as you can see, this is just quartz everywhere here. Nice pieces. Even the broken pieces, like I said, I really like this because it's super clear. So it's just a cool vein here to look through, and pretty good view. If you want to learn more about quartz, I did a whole thing on quartz specifically, so you can learn about the mineral itself. If you just want to understand, learn about minerals, I got a minerals playlist. I'm going over all the minerals here. So if you want more detail about their actual properties, check that out. And then I'll be doing a lot more on quartz here. So I'll talk about its properties and how it forms, and a lot of other related minerals. So just check that out here at Let's Go Geo, and otherwise I'll be taking you guys on more field adventures. Take you with me. Here's another one I found here. Look at this one. Pretty nice. Fairly clear, not crystal clear, but that's pretty clear. Hopefully you can really see that. Yeah, so I'll be taking you guys along on more field adventures, and we'll talk more about geo here next time. See you guys.